The crypto market is waking up in a big way, and the buzz around altcoins is finally picking up steam. This is exciting because it sets the stage for the long-awaited alt season, a phenomenon some skeptics still doubt will happen. But here on this channel, we know better. Altcoin season is brewing, with the altcoin index sitting at 39/100 and fear and greed levels holding steady at 71. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is nearing an incredible $105,000, 0 cents. As for stocks, all eyes are on tomorrow's market open, which could throw a curveball, but overall, the momentum in crypto feels unstoppable. Get ready, this summer could be massive for crypto. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Ethereum is taking center stage. It's clear to me that Ethereum is now stealing the spotlight, and it's leading us straight into phase 2 of alt season. When we check out the top 24-hour gainers, there are some impressive moves happening. Take Pi, for example. It's up a staggering 63%. That's wild. But let's zoom out a bit. Looking at the top 500 coins over the last 7 days, 100% plus gains are popping up all over the place. It's been an exhilarating week in the market with action everywhere you look. Sure, things may cool off a bit as we inch higher, but I truly believe we're on the verge of waking up alt season in a massive way. It's becoming real, something many doubted would happen this cycle. People keep saying this time is different, but until regulations kick in, I think there's still plenty of value in comparing today's market to past cycles. Let's talk about XRP. Currently hovering around $2.37 after nearly reaching the $2.50 mark. It sparked plenty of chatter. Many believe we're in for another sell-off. Here's the thing about altcoins. When they surge upward and hit a resistance level, they often pull back, consolidate, and gather steam before making another big move. XRP hit that resistance and is now in that waiting game, preparing to break through. Even a quick glance at CoinMarketCap shows this trend, but for those who love charts, I've got one open that I'll dive into shortly. Overall, XRP's position still looks promising, but the bigger picture, I believe we're on the brink of a historic alt season and bull run. Why? Let's connect the dots. First, Watcher Guru reports that the US and China are set to resume tariff negotiations, a significant geopolitical shift. Adding to the optimism, President Trump shared that Saturday's meetings with China were very good. And if that's not enough, Yahoo News updated us that Trump claims a total reset was achieved during these high-stakes trade talks. With such global shifts in motion, the market feels primed for something monumental. Here we go again. This update is from Saturday, not even Sunday, but it's big news. President Donald Trump announced a total reset with China after his aggressive tariff policy sparked a heated trade war with the world's second largest economy. High-stakes talks between the two nations are underway this weekend. Following weeks of gridlock over tariffs, Trump shared on Truth Social Saturday night a very good meeting today with China and Switzerland. Many things discussed, much agreed to, a total reset negotiated in a friendly but constructive manner. We want to see, for the good of both China and the US, an opening of China to American business. Great progress made. This is promising news. Personally, I believe a deal with China is on the horizon, which is why I made a post referencing Watcher Guru's original update about tariff negotiations resuming today, Sunday. As we inch closer to a trade agreement, time is running out to position ourselves properly. I generally think this could be the biggest catalyst ahead of us, one that could send shockwaves through markets. If a deal is struck, it won't just drive up Bitcoin, XRP, and the crypto space, it'll ignite the stock market too. I've been keeping a close eye on the ongoing drama between the US and China because if a deal gets finalized soon, we're looking at a massive economic surge. Trump himself recently hinted that stocks are set to explode and rally, and he knows just how crucial this deal is. The moment the announcements drop, the markets are going to skyrocket. Yet so many retail investors are still missing the bigger picture, even as Bitcoin continues its bullish climb, hitting higher highs. June is shaping up to be pivotal. First, we've got the Fed rate cut decision, which I believe will kick off rate cuts next month. That alone is a big catalyst, but combine it with a US-China trade deal, that could create an unstoppable surge, a historic moment for the markets. If the deal doesn't happen tomorrow, I'm betting we'll hear big news come June. I hope you've been paying attention and use this time wisely to stack up on coins during the dip or while the market moved sideways. This is something I've emphasized countless times, especially with XRP. Over the past month, we've been building up to this breakout moment. Let's take a quick look at the yearly chart and revisit the timeline. Back in February, we saw XRP hit lows around $2.15, then $2.20, eventually dropping below $2, 0 cents entirely. We had 3 months of dull downward price action, 3 months to accumulate XRP and other altcoins, while the market seemed stagnant. Take HBAR, for example. Over the last month, it dropped to around $0.14, but now it's back above $0.20. Months ago, when HBAR was trading at nearly $0.40, people were saying, I should have bought more. Well, guess what? The opportunity came back, and those who took advantage are already seeing gains. And here's the kicker, whales have been making moves while others hesitated. Over the past month, they've scooped up more than 880 million XRP. Bitcoin has seen significant accumulation too. Just recently, a crypto whale grabbed 11 million XRP from Upbit, a major Korean exchange. Could this be a sign of something big on the horizon? The game is changing, and those who stayed ready are now reaping the rewards. Whales are positioning themselves ahead of the big China announcement, preparing for what could be a game-changing deal, and not just for trade, but for crypto markets too. Over 20,000 Bitcoin has been quietly accumulated in just the last 2 days. Meanwhile, Bitcoin reserves on exchanges are near record lows. The crypto environment right now is incredibly bullish, yet so many seem to miss the bigger picture. A trade war may be looming, but let's not forget how similar fears back in January when tariff talks began turned out to be just noise. This is a storm we simply need to weather because what lies beyond is nothing short of spectacular. Think sunshine and blue skies. Right now, we're in the thick of it. Take XRP, for instance. Its chart is showing a strong, promising uptrend. Right now, $2.55 is the level to watch. Until we break above that, we're likely to see some choppy action. Recently, we hit a key resistance zone around $2.47. This level isn't new. It's been a sticking point before, showing resistance back in late March, mid-March, and even as far back as January this year. Clearly, it's a major zone to overcome. Looking at the bigger picture, the 3-day chart is where things get exciting. It's incredibly bullish, though breaking through resistance takes time. But here's the thing. Once we clear these zones, it often leads to big impulsive moves. For instance, the next target after $2.55 is $2.73. And beyond that, we're eyeing the January highs of $3.40 plus. The momentum is building and there's plenty to look forward to with XRP. I'm confident we'll revisit $3.40 and beyond. It's all about patience. Keep an eye on the XRP/BTC pair too. Once it starts breaking out, the real fireworks could begin. I'm keeping a close eye on these lows, watching for them to hold steady here. We're starting to see some choppy movement to the downside, while Ethereum seems to be stepping into the spotlight. Ideally, I'd like to see us range within this zone before making a strong push back to the upside. A break above the recent highs we hit in late February would be key. Beyond that, the next target on the USD chart sits around $3.40. Breaking that level could set the stage to revisit highs we haven't seen since 2020, specifically the November 2020 peaks and even further back to the December 2018 levels. XRP is still holding up well on the Bitcoin pair, but it's absolutely crucial for these lows to hold. We might see a wick dip below, but I'm watching closely with the weekly candle close coming up today. The recent sell-off in the XRP Bitcoin pair can largely be tied to Ethereum's activity, which we'll dive into in a moment. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin dominance chart is looking interesting. There's a lot of speculation about whether dominance has finally topped out. On the 3-day, it does seem to show signs of exhaustion. Looking back at the macro trends since September 2019, we've hit similar levels before, only to see a sharp, impulsive move down shortly after. If we zoom in on the lower time frames, like the daily or even the 12-hour chart, it's clear just how intense this sell-off in Bitcoin dominance has been. Honestly, it's one of the sharpest drops we've seen in a long time, since way back in November 2024, to be exact. That's no small feat. The reaction on Bitcoin dominance overall has been noteworthy, and I've been keeping a close eye on the 3-week chart too. It tells a slightly different story, but the overall structure still suggests we may have completely topped out. This could signal the beginning of alt season, or maybe it's a June event waiting to unfold. Either way, we take it day by day. There's a chance we might see a bit more choppy action before a more significant sell-off happens. Ideally, I'd like to see it slow and steady at first, then accelerate, much like what happened back in 2021. We're definitely monitoring this closely. There's even the potential for one last reaction in the chart, which could mirror the price action from August 2020 heading into that fall period. Either way, whether we're fully topped out or not, Bitcoin dominance has come a long way since its lows. This journey has been unfolding for over 973 days now. For context, the previous cycle stretched about 1,092 days. We're currently on the 3-week timeline, so we could be nearing a peak, or perhaps we'll extend closer to that 1,092-day pattern again, which would land us around August. However, I don't think it'll take that long. In fact, I believe we'll hit the top earlier, largely due to the sheer number of old coins circulating in this market. What's fascinating right now is the growing spotlight on Ethereum coinciding with Bitcoin's breakout. This combo could ignite a massive move in altcoins. We're already hitting a critical resistance zone on the weekly chart. If Bitcoin manages to break and close above 165K, we could see a new higher high structure, which would be incredibly bullish. That kind of shift could propel Bitcoin beyond the $110,000 0 cents all-time high, possibly within the next 24 hours. If we take a closer look at Bitcoin dominance right now, it's clear that its continued decline is setting the stage for something massive. Not only is Ethereum poised to surge, but XRP and the entire altcoin market are gearing up for a breakout. Ethereum dominance, which seems to have completely bottomed out, is now gaining serious momentum. This shift is pulling a bit of focus from XRP, and that's okay. Why? Because Ethereum is phase 2 and phases 3 and 4 belong to the altcoins. Speaking of Ethereum, let's dive into the Ethereum USD chart. We've just seen a massive 48% move in a single weekly candle. Why is this such a big deal? Because the last time Ethereum pulled off a move of this magnitude in one weekly candle was way back in December 2020. This isn't just a blip, it's a sign. The altcoin market is on the brink of waking up in a major way. Everyone's been talking about alt season for what feels like forever, but now you're about to witness it unfold. The weekly chart tells the story loud and clear. Brace yourselves, because something big is coming. I've been analyzing weekly candles to see if any align with a massive 48% move. And so far, none have. Not even November's bullish candle, which hit about 36.42%. The last time we saw a 40% plus move was back in December. Following that, the next week continued climbing, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a similar push higher from here. This aligns perfectly with alt season really heating up next month. Remember, December 2020 and January 2021 kicked off the biggest alt season in crypto history, lasting 3 to 6 months. I believe we're seeing the same setup now. Alt season is brewing, and I expect it will kick into high gear next month, potentially peaking late next year or early 2025. Right now, the space looks incredibly bullish. The China deal is a huge catalyst to watch. But beyond that, the entire crypto space feels primed to explode. Keep a close eye on Bitcoin dominance. It's crucial. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more free content. Big things are on the horizon, so stay sharp. Peace out.